Twitches are upset at
Tell me
Bam.
why. Tell me why.
Same story, different game.
Yeah, I've seen that. We hear this all the time. The only thing is he didn't say I need to be more aggressive. He just said that he played terrible. Like I didn't think that was a thing. And in fact, that's really the first time I've heard him say that this playoffs. Because the other one, I think the last time he said something that really pissed people off was I think it was after the Hawks game, and he got, remember that game, they got out rebounded by a gazillion. And he had talked about not getting them the ball, and that had pissed people off. But I hadn't heard. I didn't find what he said after this game to be the same thing. I thought I'm honestly I'm glad that he basically just squarely took it on himself, because I agree. Like, if you go look at those fourth quarter numbers, and it's 1 basket, 1 rebound, 3 personal fouls.
Yeah,
like that's a stinker. And you were up 6 midway through,
right?
Yeah, it's like where else am I supposed to put the blame,
right?
So, but I get it. He's people don't like to people get mad at him when they win. I mean, hell, like that's the best.
Yeah. Well, so, I think it's not. I think people get frustrated when. If you're going to win, it's going to be because of 2 guys, Bam and Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
You've pretty much, every time I talk about 2 stars and all these other teams have 2 stars, you always mention Jimmy and you mention Bam.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that although Bam is important, right? When you think about the other stars on other teams, it looks different. And so people tend to want, kind of, if that's going to be one of your stars and one of the reasons why you win, he has to do some stuff now. He got to do some things.
Look,
and he hasn't been doing some things.
It's one of these things where, look, he just had a triple-double in a closeout game. So what is that supposed to buy him? I don't know. It's the playoffs. People forget very quickly. But when you said yesterday, when we were talking about if Jimmy was going to play, can I see a world where they win? And I said, yeah, I think I can see a world where they win. But I thought that he needed to be the guy that really stepped up. And I thought that it had set up perfectly for them to get that from him in that fourth quarter. And he was nowhere to be found. And I'm not talking just baskets. I'm talking
defense,
rebounding,
boneheaded plays,
effort, play. Yeah, that's the thing that's disappointing. Here we go. I knew this guy was going to call up. Hi, Richie.
Tobin?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? First of all, let me be nice. Hi, J Fig. Hi, Marco. Hi, Leroy.
What about your fellow? What about your fellow?
Today?
What about your fellow Knicks fan, Vlad?
Where's my boy? Is he there?
He's there.
Of course, I'm here.
He's here for.
I should be first and foremost.
Hey, Vlad.
What's
up,
Richie?
How the stinking Heat fans ain't got nothing to say today, my man?
Oh, no, they got a lot to say.
Jabby.
Richie, they got a lot to say, but they have a lot to say. They're blaming it on Scott Foster.
Hey,
game ball. I want to know, Richie, did you guys give Scott Foster the game ball?
Vlad, you got a meal wager with me, and I haven't complained one time.
No, I got you,
Leroy,
bro,
we separate you.
Listen, this is all I want to say.
You came out and said what needed to be said.
Yeah.
Hey, do me a favor. Can I talk for a second?
No, we'll let you talk when we want you to talk.
You stinking Heat fans show up Saturday because we're taking over that arena. You understand?
Richie,
we will take over the arena.
Richie, I have a question for you.
Show up Saturday. I'll be there. Slap Happy. Who's your other punks out there? The guy from the Grove. I'll be at the stadium. Meet me there, you punks.
Richie, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Did you give Scott Foster the game ball last night?
What are you, a comedian or something, bro?
I'm just wondering. I mean, guy had a higher plus minus last night than Brunson. I was just wondering if you guys gave him the game ball last night. Curious.
Toby, you're full of, you know what, Toby, you're so full of jokes, but I want to see you on Sunday.
You'll see me, dude. Listen, I'm boots on the ground every game, Richie. You come find me, dude. I'm easy to find.
I'm boots on the ground, and I own your arena. Understand?
You own nothing, dude.
That is a fact. That is
you own. You're gonna
MSG.
The only thing you're gonna own. The only thing you're gonna own is me sending you some gin for my gentleman's sweep when it's Heat and 5, dude.
All right, listen, seriously, are you guys going to the game?
Yes, I'm at both games, dude. I'll be at every game, although there won't be a game 6. I mean, it's only going 5. The Heat
All right, listen, great show. This is going to be a great series, and you know it. I think it's going to go 7. I love messing with you guys. You do stink, you stinking Heat fans, but hey, here's what it is.
I don't think you can just say that. I can't even say you can't just say you love us and then say we stink.
I mean, you do that to your children all the time, don't you? You love them, but they're little stinkers. Well, you know, we love y'all.
They are little stinkers.
But we love y'all. But you know, you guys.
I don't love you guys. I love you, but I don't love your fan base. I don't love.
Yeah, same here. I love you, Tobin, and you all your craziness, but the fan base. Nah, you know what? I love messing with you, Heat fans. Y'all some good fun on the Twitch.
Hey, Scott. Okay, man.
Hey, Scott, Mr. Dolan wants to see you.
Good
job. See Scott Foster. Scott Foster's going to be in the luxury.
Of course, he doesn't. Scott Foster's the only referee that doesn't need facial recognition to come into MSG.
No, not at all. See, he gets to walk around more willy-nilly than Spike Lee.
And I love it. Look at you guys being upset. Aren't you happy? You should be happy. It's a split. Game 3 is going to be fun.
I'm not worried. I mean, if you're asking if I'm worried at all, I'm not. I think the Heat are in a great spot. I think Jimmy's going to I really do think it was a mistake taunting
smirk.
Jimmy.
Yeah, that was a nasty
smirk. I was like, oh, no.
I was like, why?
Why would you poke the bear?
Oh.
If I was the Knicks fan.
Stop poking bears, guys.
If I was the Knicks fan, I would have just been like, man, why couldn't you just gone straight to Miami? You had to hang out here.
By the way, I hope the Knicks leave on Friday. I don't want them coming to Miami early. 3 days off.
Let's get it ready.
Do not come to Miami until Friday night.
I think a lot of those young kids.
Listen, Tibbs has been around too long to let them party down here. He knows. He's not gonna let Jalen Brunson see some cheeks.
Yeah, Josh Hart. Yeah, I can see Josh Hart being at one of the what's one of our spots?
Tootsies.
Yeah, Tootsies.
Oh yeah, dude.
Super Toots right there. Nah, I don't want. No. I don't want Josh Hart, IQ, Obi. Definitely Obi Toppin look like he can.
Let's get some cheeks in front of Hartenstein.
No cheeks.
Get him in front of some cheeks. Get him distracted. No. That guy was way too locked in.
Mitch, we don't want Mitchie in the streets. No, leave. Do not come till Friday. South Florida, the nightlife is another 3 point.
Well, you know why? Hey, but
especially if it's an afternoon game.
You know why? You know why they won't come? You know why they won't come till Friday? Because they're gonna be here for like 5 days anyway.
Right, but that's what
I'm
saying.
So they don't need to come early.
But Leroy,
they'll come last minute before the first game.
Better because this is a happening weekend.
The game's on Saturday.
Oh,
you need to watch your boys on Saturday night.
I get that, but Leroy, all right, all the celebs are coming down here regardless.
Yep.
They were going to come down for the F1 race.
Yep.
For the F1 race.
Right.
Yeah.
You got F1 and you got Heat.
Knicks Heat.
And you got Panthers.
Come on.
It's a great weekend.
It's a great weekend, South Florida. But
I really don't care about the racing, but it's still a fun weekend. I know a lot of people are going to enjoy that.
And
a lot of people that are going to be at the F1 race will probably be the same people trying to get courtside seats for the Heat,
for sure.
For the Heat Knicks game.
Getting some other headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
As we mentioned last out, Panthers, they are up 1-0 in their series against the Maple Leafs. Double them up 4-2 yesterday to take game 1 of that series. And nice win from the Panthers yesterday. It really just came out and put it on Toronto.
Continued the aggression, the excellent play. The defense has been amazing.
Yep.
Bob has been, even when they slipped defensively or had a little lax defensively, Bob backed them up. Yeah, and I really like the fact that they controlled the puck most of the game.
Marlins lost 6-0. Their struggles against the Braves continue. Sandy's struggles continue. So nothing great. That series continues today, 6:40. And the Lakers, should mention a couple of NBA notes. Lakers won last night. They took game 1 against the Warriors. Monster from AD.
AD, 6-8, got 20 and 23.
And Joel Embiid won the MVP.
Yep. Now, so you think with and I wanted to hit this real quick, with the Lakers and the Warriors, they don't have anybody that can deal with AD.
No.
Looney can't stay in front of that dude.
Looney Tunes.
And
Well,
they don't have.
he had 20 rebounds
He
yesterday.
had 20 rebounds too,
but he just can't stop AD.
Right, he can't stop AD. And the other thing is that they don't really have anybody else.
Well, the thing that's, I think, the biggest thing that they got to deal with from the Kings series is you don't have that parking cone Sabonis in there. It's AD. It's a different story, dude. And look, it's not like the Warriors shot poorly yesterday. They were bombs away. So,
but this is crazy how what you just said that they were bombing away, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you control the paint, there's nothing you can bomb away all you want, but getting free points in the paint and the free throw line will always negate that.
Yep. It was so that series, big one for the Lakers. They take game 1 on the road. Take a quick break. Back with more after this. Get to some of your texts, your calls here, 305-567-0560. Panthers win last night, 4-2 over the Maple Leafs. You got Carter Verhaeghe last night, Vlad. Carter Verhaeghe, he had a big one. The Leafs were able to tie things up in the second period. Carter Verhaeghe sent the Panthers into the second intermission with a 3-2 lead.
Carter Verhaeghe able to nudge it to the neutral zone. Duclair, Verhaeghe on a breakaway pass to defense. Verhaeghe and a shot, and he scores, and the Panthers are back in front. Carter Verhaeghe makes it 3-2. What a feed from Duclair, and then it was Verhaeghe off to the races, and he beats Samsonov, and the Panthers get the lead back on their side.
There you go. Doug Plagans with the call last night on the Panthers radio network. They will be playing game 2 tomorrow. You'll be able to hear that game here on 560 WQAM. Heat will be off until Saturday. Also want to let you guys know, if you guys like Guns N' Roses, if you guys want to go see your favorite band on their tour, you pick the city. We give you 2 nights in a hotel plus a $200 gift card. All you have to do is head on over to WQAM.com, enter on the contest page, and register. And you might win this cool prize to see Guns N' Roses. It's a national contest and a live nation show. Sergei Bobrovsky yesterday with 34 points. And look, man, I think you get over that juggernaut of beating the Boston Bruins. I don't know how this series is going to go, but very similar to the Heat, I feel like you get over that hurdle in the first round. How is your confidence not oozing going the rest of the playoffs, right? It has to feel like you can accomplish anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're talking about a group of guys who have never been in this situation, that have gotten through the first round against basically what they were last year, and a 1-up lead, because I think last year they won the first series and they got swept, right?
Yeah, they won their first series, and it wasn't like it was a very frustrating series. It was like, remember, because and that's kind of the magic of Paul Maurice, right? Like they were trying to get to more playoff hockey style because they were so run and gun last year, and they got to the playoffs, and it's just like you could just feel the slop immediately, right? Like it just was getting bogged down, and now it almost feels like they have the swagger they had in the regular season last year. Now it feels like they got it all of a sudden here, where it's like no deterrent, no deficit, nothing matters. They'll be able to find their way out of it.
It's the difference in being the 85 Bears versus being the greatest show on turf, right? Like last year, they were the greatest show on turf. And when they got to the playoffs, when defense matters, they had no answer because they couldn't play another style of hockey. This year, they've kind of been progressing to this point all year. Now, they cut it a little close, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the version of hockey that they're playing now is what I guess Paul Maurice was expecting them to play at this time of the year. So
filthy.
Yeah, so it's fun to watch. I actually like they're more aggressive, they're more physical. The Kachuk is a nuisance, right? And he's also their best player.
And Barkey's responded. Barkey has, ever since the little TTL, little Tobes call out.
I mean, but Kachuk
Although I didn't sick, I was unaware of that.
Kachuk has made all these other guys give the other guys opportunities, and Verhaeghe and Montour. Who's the Cousins?
Yeah, Nick Cousins.
Who's that? I'm like, what?
He put the puck up yesterday.
Right.
because they have the puck shrine in their locker room. Everybody gets the puck, and then they go and they fill up the board. I assume they're trying to get to 16. That's the magic number.
Right.
So
that's like game ball for hockey, right? You get to put the puck up.
That's their thing. Yeah, they have you put the puck up. You know, they used to have
remember when the Heat had the flags?
The Heat had the flags outside, and then they had a black Larry O'Brien trophy, I believe, that had like little ticks on it.
Right.
So that was their thing.
So, I think it's cool, man. I like it. It's weird because not for nothing, you feel a different level of confidence with the Panthers based on what they've done the first 2 series than you've had with this team in a long time. Like you like last year we said, oh, they've been so good, they're just going to be good in the playoffs.
Well, what was demoralizing about last year was the fact that the Lightning, who were your daddies always, like we came in with like, oh, this year's going to be different. And then you got swept by them. And it's like, it was so earth shattering to the team. They're like, we have to change a lot. They changed the face of their team in Matthew Tkachuk, and they got a new coach. So people didn't like the hire.
They also got really healthy.
That did help.
They got really healthy because you haven't known the turnaround came back when Duclair came back, when who else was out? There's one other guy that was out, and they got into the rotation. Then it seemed like things started picking up a little bit.
Silly Sauce says, how about Tobin's boy Bob last night? It was Bob time last night. It was.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what.
He was nails.
I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm not saying nothing about him, right? Because, dude, I'm telling you, it like, and it's the nervousness you feel when they either have an advantage or it's the end of the game and they pull a goalie and the pucks just are all over the place. You're like, oh, no freebies. And Bob, Bob was money.
Yeah, it was needed, man. It was needed. So they'll be back in action tomorrow and get that going. Meanwhile, the Heat, they fell last night to the New York Knicks. The weirdest play was this shot clock play. Can you give me Eric Spoelstra after the game, Vlad? Eric Spoelstra.
He couldn't call a timeout and challenge it.
This is his explanation of it. Apparently, you're not allowed to challenge it, and it wasn't in the last. They can only review it if it's in the last 2 minutes, which it's not, which is kind of weird. But anyway, this was Spo yesterday.
No, it's not. I'm not a physics guy. I wasn't like great with that in high school, but I saw the ball like just change course of direction from my vantage point. But I get it. This game is not an easy game to officiate. It just looked like it took a different course. That would have made it a 1-point game. Yeah, that's an important play. But the officials didn't have anything to do with this. We had enough plays to make on our own. Certainly, some of these scrums, get a couple of these calls that go the other way, that can make a difference. But also putting your imprint on the game and taking matters in your own hands, that can also, change the course of the result.
I love the way that he subtly calls them all idiots for like 45 seconds and then takes accountability. It's great.
Yeah, that's how you don't get fined.
That's why he's the best at it.
But again, you have to understand from a coach's perspective. If you sitting on the bench and you see the ball deflect and go a different direction, what the hell are these guys looking at that are right in front of it? Right? And how do you here's my thing. How do you find a coach or a player for getting on the officials for missing that when they missed it?
I know.
Have some accountability. Somebody should come out and say, hey, we blew it.
I like how Spo's just like, I wasn't good at physics or any of that bleep.
Right.
However, I am good at math, and I believe that would have made it a 1-point game.
I knew right away when Gabe was hysterical.
Yeah.
That something was up. Because originally I thought, I think he thought he got it up in time. No, he said the ball hit the rim. And then they showed a replay. And I'm like,
what are we doing?
Look, there
was some things.
How many games have these guys officiated? Like Vlad, this is not a situation where
I gotta ask
you
Vlad
could overlook it or something like that. right?
Vlad, how nervous were you when Julius Randle stepped out and Duncan Robinson hit that three?
I wasn't nervous. I was like just ripping him. Like, how stupid can you be, dog? How do you not? Yo, there's just simple things in basketball. You just should. There should be no violation or mistake.
I thought that he were gonna pull it out again. I'm like, here's gonna be another heat miracle. Julius Randle stepped over the line.
Was that before the Robinson three? No,
Robinson. It was right before he turned it over, and then Robinson hit a three.
And then what? You guys,
and then they were within three, so they would have had to miss free throws.
They would have had to miss free throws, but they're liable to do that. I'm like, how do you not know to keep your damn feet above? Oh my God, that would have been it. That would have been it. If they somehow lost that game, and that was one of all the great things he did would have been nullified, null and void. If that turnover was the reason why.
So we can't here. We can't put what happened last night on one play, right?
No, you can't. But they're just stupid things you're not supposed to do.
But again, you're not supposed to run over the biggest man on the court either.
Listen,
that was insane.
Running over a guy. That happens. Charges, block.
No,
Leroy.
It took him 5 seconds to hit the ground.
Leroy.
Boom.
You should be able to inbound the ball and know that your feet cannot go over the line before passing the ball.
But you're not even looking at here's the thing.
I still remember the play.
Like, this is the equivalent to when old boy ran out of the back of the end zone. Right?
Yeah.
You just lose track of where you are.
You're not supposed to lose track of where you are. It's inbounding the ball. Inbound the ball all the time when the ball goes through the hoop. Guess what? Inbound the ball.
I still remember Norris calling Hassan Whiteside forgetting how to inbound the basketball. I still remember that. I still remember that.
They both looked at each other.
Huh? Never mind.
So look, we look. If both teams are complaining about stuff like this,
that's good.
Then that means you're in the same spot.
You're competing.
Right.
Smitty, what's going on, man?
Hey man, that was a tough game last night. Wow. Hey, I was just wondering, was Scott Foster in the Panthers game and called that penalty at the end?
Dude, I don't know what was going on there. Paul Maurice was not happy with the officials last night either. It's it obviously sounds
just
terrible last night.
It's amazing that the Panthers
call a penalty when you're lifting up the guy's stick up and hitting yourself, and it's like, how do you call that? Unreal. But the Heat team, I just don't get that. The refs didn't even look at it or anything. There was a couple other at the end of that game. That 4-point play changed everything. You guys agree?
That 4-point play was huge. Ron Rothstein said it shouldn't count. If Ron Rothstein says it shouldn't have counted, that's good enough for me. Ron Rothstein.
Exactly.
We'll get to Ron.
What about that? Yeah. What about that one with Randall? The one where he practically
how about that one?
Lowry on the ground.
He used Kyle Lowry like a washcloth, and Kyle Lowry got the foul called on him.
Good.
I was like, what is that?
Good.
You know why?
What the heck was that? That was a terrible call.
I'm happy with that call.
Why are you happy? Well, you're happy with it because it worked out for you.
No, because they're early in the game. Julius Randle got a charge, and then I'm like, wait a minute, he didn't do anything. And then you look, Kyle Lowry's pushed Julius Randle into the defender.
He would never do that.
And then points to the referee as a charge.
Kyle Lowry's an honest man. He would never do that.
He's as honest as you are.
No, he's an honest man. He would never do that.
No, at least you admit you're not honest.
Kyle Lowry got snapped like a football. Right between Julius Randle's legs, and they called the foul. And I don't know what he's getting, like the Duncan Robinson treatment lately. Like Kyle Lowry, that happened with Giannis too, where like he's just next to Giannis. Somehow Giannis steps over him like a hurdle, and they're like, foul on Lowry. I'm like, what? He's amongst trees.
Yeah, and he does trickery. He does evil things. Kyle Lowry's a hero.
Hey, Vlad, we call that being savvy.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I had a question last night.
Yeah, he's savvy. Those are but it's not tangibles when you're a former All-Star and a former world champion. It's called being savvy.
I have a question. So we have this conundrum. Obviously Hartenstein, big intangibles yesterday.
He sent me a text as like
we have Kyle Lowry, he's savvy.
But Hartenstein is
Hartenstein's intangibles. No doubt. That was one of the all-time intangibles performances. I got to say. What's Haywood Highsmith? I don't know.
Oh, he's tangibles.
He's tangibles?
Yeah, Haywood Highsmith is tangible.
I don't know, man. I was just like, because
Hey.
he was doing some good stuff
Here.
on defense.
Hey,
but
you ready? You ready? Here's what classifies you as an intangible or a black tangible, right?
I'm not saying that.
Because you can be black. You can be black too. You could be black.
Yo, what?
But
Wait,
if,
tangible definitely you could be black and have
if
tangible.
you have 2 points, 2 rebounds, and everybody's applauding your play, that's intangibles.
Tangibles.
Wait a minute. If that's the case, so is Draymond savvy or is he tangible?
He's savvy now. He's savvy,
savvy now, but no, he got some skin in the game though. So he wasn't always this. Now he just old and savvy. He's in the same class as Kyle Lowry, right? Where they make winning plays, but they haven't been just guys who've done that their whole career. So now, as a vet, you finding ways to stay in the game. You are savvy.
We'll take a quick break. Back with more for this.